Facts and opinions. We're gonna talk about the NFL's new anthem law.
Well, I'm gonna tell you my opinion, and y'all already know my opinion because every time we talk about the NFL, I'm like, I don't even know why y'all still participate in that foolishness.
Before you even say that, there was never a formal vote. And that was reported by ESPN.com. They didn't ask the owners either.
Really?
Yes. This was on ESPN.com. It was an unofficial process where basically they came up with a law before they even stepped to the owners about it, and when they had the league
So
meeting,
who is they?
The overseers of the NFL, like the commissioner and
and Trump. Someone that has nothing else to do
Trump
with it.
Trump actually banned from the NFL. If you don't know, it's just because he's president that they're actually listening to what he's saying. But Trump actually owned the USFL back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And he
I remember you telling that story.
But the league meeting was here in Atlanta the past week. And basically, what they're not really speaking about is the fact, like I said, it wasn't a formal vote that was held. It was an unofficial process, and basically, what they did was they came up with the law. Well, the rule where basically, like, if you're going to go against it, whether you're a player or your personnel, you have to stay in the locker room.
Right.
If once everything is done, you could come out the locker room or whatever like that. Because what the commissioner was saying, he said he didn't like the fact that a lot of the NFL fans were coming out saying that a lot of the players were being unpatriotic by not, basically respecting the anthem. Me personally, I don't feel like it's right, because I feel like if you're gonna take God out of schools, give the players an option. I don't think they should have to sit in the locker room.
Basically, the NFL, when they have those games and stuff, they have all those Army recruiting commercials and all those Navy recruiting commercials, and they have an agreement with the U.S. military for a recruiting thing.
But the whole thing, back to the Colin Kaepernick, he asked a veteran, and the veteran told him it was more disrespectful to sit down, and he recommended kneeling. The veteran recommended to Colin Kaepernick to kneel, so I don't see what that problem is.
Well, I was reading, there's an article in The Hill, and a Harvard Law University professor argues that the NFL decision to ban kneeling is actually illegal. It says that the clearest illegality derives from the fact that the league adopted its new policy without bargaining with the players' union. Kneeling during the anthem, he said that it's a clear form of workplace protest, and it must be discussed with the NFL Players Union before they can ban it.
But listen to this. So the Jets owner Christopher Johnson stated that he will pay the fines for the players that don't participate in the new law. And the Raiders owner Mark Davis said he abstained to vote. He said that he wanted to discuss it with his players first before he did so. And the Players Union are supposed to go back and come up with some type of proposal to the NFL because they don't feel like it's right. Like I said, they came out with this saying that they had a new law for the anthem, but like I said, it wasn't a formal vote. All of the owners are not in agreement with it. The only two owners that I can really think of off the top of my head that like it, not a coincidence, but both of the Texas team owners, Jerry Jones and Bob McNair, are the only two, that are
from Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Mike Brown, but Mike Brown more old school, so I get it, but I mean, you got to give these guys a choice, and I think even you having them sit in the locker room, you're not really giving them a choice. You're telling them they have to basically hide from the cameras. The
guy that wrote this article said that it's basically pressure from Trump and Pence, and that's what it is. And when the president and the vice president of the United States are this intimately involved in encouraging a private employer to adopt a workplace rule, the Constitution should have something to say. So I think that it's up to us. Like, are you guys still going to watch it?
My question is, what would be your suggestion for a solution?
Don't watch it. Let the ratings show what the people feel.
Is not watching it really hurting their pockets, because the white people are the people that's buying the tickets.
Okay. But we're the ones that are watching it on television. We're the ones that are buying the stuff. We're the ones that keep it. Jerseys.
The white people are spending more than black people on merchandise.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever we.
Stadium, you don't see more white people than black people.
What? Really? Okay. Well, whatever we do. And I'm sure that there's a lot of white people that agree with us.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even saying as far as the NFL as fans. I'm saying, like, what's the suggestion? Like, say if this was your job, how would you suggest for you to be able to?
I
contest
would
it?
If it was my, if it was,
what would you come to the table and present? Like, what are like? I want this for this.
I would have said stop going to the concessions and the merchandising within the stadium, because I know that hurts the owners' pockets more so than anything, because I do know with the ticket sales, the NFL do get part of that revenue from what I'm understanding.
as far as the fans.
No, I'm talking about as the player, because the players are the ones that's in between it. So what should the players do?
I feel like if I was the
They don't
if I was
come
the
out.
players,
None of them should
don't-
come out.
Don't come out during none of the games.
Don't come out.
But they have that option. So what are we mad about? Because I mean, they got the option to not come out.
We're mad because what does any of this have to do with anything? You guys are just trying to prove a point, and you're trying to save face. You're trying to make to the world. You're trying to make it look like we are in agreement with what your policy is. We are in agreement with what you're doing. You're just totally ignoring the fact that this man is kneeling for injustice. You're not willing to face the injustices that are going on. You're not doing anything about it. You're more angry about the fact that these people are not doing what you tell them to do than why they're doing it. Like, why isn't anybody mad at the fact that this man is doing this because children are being killed by police that are unarmed? Like, they're just deflecting.
I feel like this though, by them doing this now, if I was in the players union, by them doing this now, I feel like now you have to make it a priority to sign Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed to a team. So now that you done revisited this and you're saying that Colin Kaepernick was behind all of this happening, which he was, and Eric Reed was right there with him, why are they still not on
Colin
team?
Kaepernick, wasn't he suing the NFL at one point
Him
to
and Eric
say
Reed,
that they were in
both of them.
collusion with keeping them out of the NFL? Doesn't this not just prove their point?
Yeah,
But this is,
But I'm saying, like, if everybody's staying in the locker, like, it takes the player, because we wanted them to kneel to raise awareness of this. Now, if all the players stay in the locker room, where it's still the same thing, wouldn't it be? It's still raising.
But you know what?
Yeah.
But you remember? I think it was in the late '80s. You remember when?
but they're just not going to show that. They don't show that part on TV. That's why they said stay in the locker room.
Anthem anyway, do they?
I don't watch it,
Yeah, they do.
so I don't know.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah,
Sometimes they do.
So
Sometimes
what
they
they're
don't.
saying is don't come out during that time so that it won't look. It's the way that it looks to people. That's
So
what
the
they're
only
trying to
thing they
say.
do-
Which I mean, and I don't agree with it, but at the end of the day, this is.
I think they should all stay
When you go to your
in
job,
the
you
locker
gotta
room.
follow the rules of your job. Like, you might have a right as a citizen, but if it's a private company, they got their own rules, so they can fire.
There
you.
are labor laws that every company has to follow. You do not. This is nowhere in the labor laws that says that you have to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's what this article is saying. Basically, it's illegal for somebody to do that. I mean, it would be nice. You know, you can say it would be nice, but you cannot enforce this legally. So if they just continue to kneel, I think they should continue to kneel. If they face fines, they face fines. And like the Jets owner said that he would pay their fines. That's great. So then every Jets game they should kneel. And then they're going to do something else. You see what I mean? This is the type of president that we have right now. If you don't like the law, you argue the person that wrote the law. If you don't like the person that wrote the law, you argue the whole institution. Like, it's stupid. And it's just so obvious what he's doing. I think that they should continue to kneel or stay in the locker room or do whatever they need to do. And I think we should stop watching it.
I think it's gonna come to a point like I was trying to say, like in the '80s, where all the players stopped playing, and then they ended up just getting replacements. They ended up getting people who bummed out in college, people that's on practice squads and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a situation where, like, okay, if y'all ain't gonna do it, we sure it's thousands of other players out there at this point that's willing to put on an NFL jersey and go out there and represent, because this is their dream. So at some point, it's kind of like a damn if you do, damn if you don't.
I don't think that's gonna hurt the NFL though. And like
Absolutely.
I was saying at the beginning, I feel like they got enough money to start their own league. And I don't know if y'all seen Jim Jones' interview, but he got an AFL team, a real football team. So he's an owner of a real football team, and he was basically calling all the entertainers, all the rappers. He was like, man, everybody get a team, and it's like we will own this league in a sense. And it's like, man, and with they can get other people, but people watch the NFL, the NBA. They watch all these sports.
Arena League bring in good revenue too, though.
Superstars. They're not watching it for no Joe Blows. Even when we had them, they had the replacement referees. Like people were watching it because the referees was bull. They was terrible. Like when you watching these sports, you paying for these sports. You going to see professionals.
You watching it for the athleticism. You're watching it for the competition.
Like, we get out there and get to play. They're not about to go pay to watch us play because we not. You feel me? These top tier athletes.
If y'all,
After
if y'all,
playing, then
okay,
they
and then I'm just socially speaking, as black men, if y'all made it cool to talk about some other shit, this would not be a big deal. But the only thing y'all talk about for like 9 months out of the year is football, and y'all talk shit and y'all get behind your team and y'all compete. I get that.
Like women got their entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not knocking it. I mean, that's just what it is. But if there was something else that was more productive for our culture that y'all could get into, like, I understand fantasy football or whatever, but whatever y'all do to encourage them to like get their own league or promote that or talk about something else that is not involving them, because they still feel like they have control of you because you're so invested in this entertainment.
There are other leagues, like he was saying with Jim Jones. I mean, you got the indoor league, you got the arena league. I mean, it's a few other leagues out there, but it's just all in us investing in it. Like Diddy was saying, he wanted to buy the Panthers.
Well, that's out the window.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but Diddy could go buy a few arena football league teams, and I mean, of course, the players won't get paid the same as that.
Well, let me ask y'all this question: the people that are invested in the actual stadiums, like the companies that sponsor the stadiums, why don't we start getting?
They usually owned by the owners. Like Pittsburgh, the owner, Heinz Field. Pittsburgh owner is the owner of Heinz.
Yeah. Heinz fucking catch up. That's crazy.
I don't know. I just think that they should definitely hit them in the pocket somehow. There has to be a way. So you're saying that the like Gillette Field, right? Who owns that? Like you saying the stadium?
The Kraft family might own Gillette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they do own Gillette.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like the people that own companies that have the names on these stadiums actually own the team as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how they get their money. That's how they billionaires. Like the dude that owns the Falcons, he owns Home Depot.
Like in New Jersey, MetLife Stadium is where the Jets play. So MetLife insurance company, blah blah blah.
Owned by the owner of the. That's usually how it goes. I know, like the Dallas Cowboys. I forgot who Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones was in trucking.
Okay.
He dealt with trucking.
So in Dallas, who's the sponsor of that stadium? I forgot. What's the name of the Dallas stadium?
I think it's
AT&T.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like there's other ways of going around it. So I hope y'all stop watching it. I'm sick of it.
I just love football.
I know y'all do.
I'm gonna start watching it, but I do know if certain people are not playing, like he was saying, I'm not gonna watch it. That's probably what's gonna take for me to start watching. If the stars don't play, then I won't be watching it.
I'm sure that they'll play. It's just a matter of decision on whether they're gonna protest or not.
Yeah, that's true. But like he said, whether they go to another league or not, I mean that'll determine everything. And I'm glad it's two actual new leagues that's gonna come into play within the next coming years. I know the XFL is coming back, and it's another league that's coming. So,
well, we'll see.
Matter of fact, speaking of the other league, what's the one cat? The dude that used to play for the Cowboys, the defensive end. He had the domestic violence.
Oh, you're talking about Greg Hardy? Yeah.
He on Jim Jones' team.
Yeah.
So he one of the NFL players that made that transition.
Yeah, cause he banned for the domestic violence shit. But I would like to see Ray Rice, if he can get Ray Rice to play again. I think that.
I mean, can't y'all tell like these football players beat their wives?
That's probably
the owners do too.
They be on drugs, and it's like you could do anything but protest. I don't get it.
Some of those guys is in their blood. Like my Greg Hardy, we was just talking about. My boy was ahead of him when they played at Ole Miss, and he was like, Greg Hardy been like that his whole life. He was like, he just a nutcase in the head.
Those guys in football, like it's a combat sport. Like even them boxers and these football, like NBA, they don't take as much contact to the head, but people really be messed up in the head, like from these sports, and they coming from nothing, so they don't really know nothing.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Follow up.